Vultures get a very bad reputation.
I'll tell you, this branch did have a bunch of leaves on it. They already ate it all.
I like that balloon. It's pretty cool.
Do we send Balint up in the balloon, you guys?
All right, y'all. Ticket acquired.
SciAnts. We get experimental. SciAnts. We're curious, non-judgmental.
Be closer friends with one or two people compared to, you know, some of the other ones. Same thing happens with rhinos. So they do each kind of have their like own personal best friends that they're going to pick here and there. Okay. But for the most part, they all like to hang out together. You can see quite a few of them back there, actually. These are called the bighorn sheep. But one of the most important things in conservation, especially here at Safari Park, is counting. I don't know about y'all, but I do not want to go climbing up those rocks at 6 in the morning to try to find all 15 of them. Because it takes one of those sheep about 30 seconds to get up to the top fence. It takes a human being about 30 minutes to get to that top fence. So, what they do instead is they feed them all their food down here. And as long as they come down for breakfast and we count the right number, we're good to go, right? But if you only count like 14, 13, they absolutely do have to strap on their hiking boots, go up in those rocks and find the missing number 1 or 2.
When they give birth, are they allowed to give birth out in their habitat, or are they brought in?
Depends on the animal and the mom.
Okay.
So sometimes like birth can be really stressful, right? Even especially for people, but sometimes, like we had a rhino that's had 7 babies, right? She's really good at being a mom, at giving birth. She's very well acquainted with the subject, and she follows all the natural behaviors. She naturally will isolate herself to keep herself protected while she gives birth. So while we would like to pull her into a barn and to like have heating and have a private pool and have all that stuff, it's not the utmost concern, so to say. But if it's more of a high-risk pregnancy, like let's say cheetahs are very naturally high risk, or it's a high risk that the mom will reject the baby, then we will absolutely pull them into... We'll actually drive by one later, but we call it a boma. And boma's just anywhere where you house animals, so like that kind of area with all the fences back there, that would be considered a boma. And you could have a separate area just for the mom, where she would have a private space to give birth. But sometimes that can be more stressful depending on the animal, to, you know, separate her from the herd when she's used to being involved and being with everybody else, you know. There are some animals though that clearly prefer the maternity barn. There's one rhino we had that had 5 kids, I believe, and every single time she's like about to give birth, she's at the door of the barn like, let me in. She's like, I want the food right next to me, I want the heater, I want the air conditioner. And I don't blame her, you know, I would too. I'd be like, let me in there, I want the attention and the, you know, free stuff. This is great. And then way out towards the back, the reason why the bones are in there, the one spreading his wings, a vulture. Vultures get a very bad reputation because in movies and stuff, they're always like this scary bird that's gonna attack you. But they're actually super important for our environment. They're called scavengers. They eat all the stuff that's been left behind. Now that could be like fresh meat that a cheetah, you know, has killed something and gets scared away. Vultures swarm it. That's a really good meal. Could be rotting meat that's been on the side of the road for 3 days. They don't care. They have an enzyme in their stomach acid that's so powerful it pretty much obliterates any disease that goes in it, including anthrax, the Black Plague, and even botulism. So like all these diseases that would normally be like sitting in those carcasses and making us sick, the vultures are getting rid of it for us. Very nice. They're nature's cleanup crew, even though they look kind of scary. But they literally cannot hunt. Like, they don't know how to hunt. If I handed them a live mouse, they'd probably give me a funny look, like, what is this? What are you going to do with this? There'll be quite a bit more vultures towards the back here, actually. You can see one's laying down in the back. His tan is blending in with the dirt, but they're back there.
Do we know the molecule that breaks down these instances and protects them from the diseases?
Somebody does, but I do know they did a medical like research into how we can possibly use it to protect people, and it's basically not as effective.
Gotcha.
Because it's so acidic and powerful that it would basically destroy us.
Wow, so it's like, it's really incredible that they're able to use it then too, like how they're adapted to survive it.
It's very volatile, and their adaptation specifically is basically what is allowed them to use it, and we just don't have that. The human body is surprisingly delicate.
So right now, I will tell you this branch did have a bunch of leaves on it. They already ate it all. But giraffes won't actually eat the wood, like elephants might, but giraffes don't. They were eating the bark. So you see she's actually stripping it clean. She's making it all nice and green. Her mouth and her tongue and her lips are nimble enough to get just the bark and none of the wood. By the end of the day, this whole thing will be just a bright green branch.
And they wouldn't be able to digest the wood, right? So it's like they're selecting for what they can actually process.
Yes, so they might be able to digest like a little bit of wood. If they get a little bit here and there, it's not a big deal. But if they ate this whole branch, it would be very bad for them. But I mean, they're very good at handling stuff that they probably shouldn't be eating. Like there's this tree called the thorny acacia tree. Its thorns are about this big. I'll point it out. We're actually going to drive by one later. That's like the giraffe's favorite food. Their saliva is so thick and their mouths are so hard that like they don't even feel these thorns when they go in their mouths, when we as humans use them as tattoo needles. So, hi sweetheart.
For the trees, it looks like there's a very clean trim line. Is that intentional so they can't eat?
No, they did that.
They did. Oh, okay. Wow. So that clean cut is just because that's how high they can get.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's called a pruning line. And a lot of animals do it. It's just giraffes is the most obvious, right? Because it's 18 feet up and it's very clean. But if you go to like a nearby like forest or woods or something, you'll oftentimes see a pruning line about 4 feet up because it's the deer. They're just eating everything that there is. Giraffes are notorious for eating everything, by the way. But so the giraffes are gonna go and they're gonna eat all of these branches right off of the tree and all the leaves. And they cut off this really nice cleaning line that you mentioned. We call them like our horticulture specialists, managers, if you will. But
it's such a clean cut. Like it's amazing.
So in Africa, right, those like half cut off trees are very famous looking. That is notorious. Like if you even watch the movie The Lion King, right, you have all these trees that look like they're half cut off, where all the leaves and branches are only at the top. But trees only do that when giraffes are around. It is so hard to grow extra feet and to be tall and to put all your leaves at the top. That is wasted space and wasted energy. When instead you could look like a bush. And so the giraffes are creating this like half cut off look that is famous for Africa that we get here just because we have giraffes. Like this tree right here, that's a California tree. It should not look like this. But it does, because we have the giraffe.
That balloon.
It's one of the like special tour type things you can do.
That'd be really cool.
Like they have a zip line tour. I feel like you could get a GoPro and do that thing.
That is really cool. I like that balloon. Yeah, and there's the balloon going up. It's like there's some people in there. That's pretty cool. There's the balloon.
Do we send Balint up in the balloon, you guys? Do you want to go up?
I'd be interested in going up. Let's go. Let's make a journey up the balloon. All right, y'all. Ticket acquired. I'll give Lita the card in case I go flying. Alrighty, y'all. Let's do it. This should be really cool. We'll get a nice good look at the park. Probably some good, nice animal shots too. Alright, here we go, y'all. Super cool, y'all. Oh, there's the elephants. Way down there. So right down there make sure y'all can see these right here. Those are the huts that you can rent out and stay out at the park. Y'all wanted to go up, so we did it. Out of that was really cool. All right, y'all, we did it.